Welcome back to Dragon Age Origins, everyone. We're here in the party camp with Elia. We're just on our way out, so no more of the party camp stuff for now. We're gonna take, definitely
Indeed.
Morrigan. She's our healer, resident healer for the time being, at least. We'll take Sten.
Yes.
I'm tempted to take Liliana. But since we're gonna go straight to Redcliffe, maybe we'll take Alistair instead. Should be interesting.
Yes.
So we don't have to go straight to Redcliffe. I just figured we'd go do that and then initiate the sequence of events that are going on there. Once we've initiated the events there, we can move on and perhaps go to some of these other places. Oh, actually, before I do any of that, I forgot. I want to talk to Sten one last time.
You are not quite as callow as I thought. That is unexpected.
Thanks, I guess.
You're welcome.
So will you tell me why you were caged?
I caged myself. A weak mind is a deadly foe, as you are no doubt aware.
What happened?
I told you before that I was sent here. I was not sent alone. I came to your lands with 7 of the Beresad, my brothers, to seek answers about the Blight. We made our way across the Ferelden countryside without incident, seeing nothing of the threat we were sent to observe, until the night we camped by Lake Calenhad. They came from everywhere. The earth beneath our feet, the air above us. Our own shadows harbored the darkspawn. I saw the last of the creatures cut down, too late. I fell.
What happened to the other Qunari?
I am told no others survived. I don't know how long I lay on the battlefield among the dead, nor do I know how the farmers found me. I only know that when I woke I was no longer among my brothers, and my sword was gone from my hand.
What did you do?
I searched for it, and when that failed I asked my rescuers what had become of it.
Did the farmers know where it was?
They said they found me with nothing.
Did you believe them?
I did. I knew they didn't have the blade. They had no reason to lie to me. I panicked. Unthinking, I struck them down.
You panicked over a lost blade?
That sword was made for my hand alone. I have carried it from the day I was set into the Beresad. I was to die wielding it for my people. Even if I could cross Ferelden and Tevinter unarmed and alone to bring my report to the Arishok, I would be slain on sight by the Antam. They would know me as soulless, a deserter. No soldier would cast aside his blade while he drew breath.
Couldn't you search for it?
If I knew where to look, it would be in my hand now.
Where did you fight the Darkspawn?
Near Lake Calenhad.
Don't worry, we'll find it.
Perhaps those words are empty, but thank you all the same.
Alright, so that conversation that we just had started his character quest. And the only reason that is accessible is because I gave him... Where is it? This, Qunari Prayers of the Dead. So I gave him that just before starting the episode. And it raises his affection level by at least 50. So it raised it to the point that he is a high enough approval that he'll give us a quest. All of the characters have their own character quests, but different things activate each of their quests. I don't think the dog has one though, so you'll have to live without doing a dog quest. unless getting the dog in the first place counts, because that was a quest in and of itself. So the reason I did that is because there's a portion of Sten's quest that takes us to Redcliffe anyway. So I figured if we do that and we just start doing his quest, it'll take us to Redcliffe regardless. So we can just dilly-daddle a bit and take our time getting to Redcliffe.
Indeed.
Yes.
We'll still take the same crew I was planning on taking before. But this time, since we know that we have to go to Lake Calenhad, we'll do that. And these two are a whole lot of nothings, but we don't have to do them quite yet. In fact, I actually prefer to save these a little bit until later, so we'll do that. Now this, Soldier's Peak, is a really interesting place to go, especially if you bring Alistair and another character that you can potentially get. But the other character that you can potentially get, you're not allowed to have that character in your party until much later in the game. So you have to make a decision whether or not you're going to get that person into your party or not, and if you want that person with you when you go to Soldier's Peak. Soldier's Peak is one of the DLC things, so it'll be there for the entire game until you defeat the Archdemon. So you have to do it before you initiate the final encounter kind of thing, but up until that point, that will always be there and it'll always be an option for you to do. I think I'm going to save Ban Loren's lands for towards the end of the game. We'll do that closer to the end because it'll be more interesting. Soldier's Peak, however, we'll probably do a little earlier. And I like to do it fairly early because after you've completed it, it gives you access to a vault. And the vault you can store items in. So it basically gives you a storage facility where you can just dump everything that you don't want to lug around with your character that's taking up too much of your backpack space. Just lug it all into that vault, and then you clear up a bunch of space and you can go collect more, and then just stop by there anytime that you need to empty your backpacks kind of thing, but you don't want to sell the items that you have. So it's quite useful in that sense. We'll do this first though, the Sten stuff, like Calenhad. And we're getting ambushed, it looks like. Yep. That'll happen most of the time. So there is an abomination there. That's not our first look at an abomination since we did the mage origin, but if we hadn't, it would have been.
Very well. Flee while you can.
There we go. So that is what happens when an abomination dies. It explodes. So if you get like 3 bodies of abominations stacked around, particularly if you are on a higher difficulty. In fact, if I was on a higher difficulty with just the 1 there, all of my party would have died. So it's just a little bit of a heads up, particularly if you're playing on the higher difficulty levels. You do not want to stick around when you kill something like that. What you're going to want to do is move your entire party away from the corpse, so that the explosion doesn't kill anyone. Reynolds Journal. So that gives us a codex. Should you find this note, I beg you please complete my task. I am Reynold, Master Mage and Mentor to the misguided fool Hashir. It seems that my young apprentice has got mixed up in magic unmentionable, for which I pledge to pursue him to the ends of the world. If you are reading this, then my apprentice caught up to me and choked from me my last breath. I beg you to delve into this ancient elven forest and end the threat of the abomination my beloved apprentice has become. Should you do this, then I beg you, keep the feldspar ring you find on my apprentice's finger as a token of my thanks. And may you never know profound failure such that I feel as I write this. Reynold. So that gives us a quest for the forest, but we're not going to the forest until much later, so it doesn't matter for now. And there is what the circle looks like from the outside. That big tower in the distance, that is the circle. So when we were living in there, we spent our entire time on the bottom levels of that place. As you can see, there is kind of a bridge that goes over, but there's no way to actually cross the entire bridge because there's gaps in it all the way throughout. Now, to complete Sten's quest, we have to talk with this guy. As you can see, there are bodies of people who are large. Those are supposed to be Kunari, but they're charred and skeletons.
Back off! I was here first!
What are you doing?
None of your business, knife ears. I wasn't bothering nobody, and I was here first.
And what will you do if I don't back off?
Run away?
You haven't seen a sword laying around here, have you?
Why, you looking to buy one?
No, but my very large, angry friend here is.
Oh, is he? Well, that's... see, I'd like to sell you one, but I don't, have any myself. I got part of a glove the wolves didn't chew too badly, though. I think it was a glove, anyway. I know, don't say it, I got cheated. I knew the guy who was here before me. He sold me this spot. Said he'd found giants and all kind of crazy valuables. He didn't mention that he'd taken everything but the bones and the dirt already. His name's Ferrin. Squirrely little bastard, if you ask me. Which you didn't, but I said it anyway.
Where is he?
He was going to Orzammar, he said. I imagine he's gotten there by now. If you find him, tell him I sent you. It'll scare the piss out of him.
Alright, so that's our next destination. We have to go to the Dwarven location. Now, before we leave this area, we can go and talk with some of the people around here just to see what's going on. We don't want to talk with Carol yet, because that will take us across the lake to the tower, and we don't plan on visiting the tower yet. We can talk with this guy. This is for a quest. It's just
what was
one
this
of
about?
the throwaway quests, so
I
there's no
worried
point
this
reading
might
the
happen.
dialogue.
I hoped it wouldn't be you who came for me.
Just some extra
I have no
experience along the
choice.
way.
Forgive me, Warden, but I cannot go back with you.
We will need to fight short.
Alright, everybody go on to that guy.
Off I go.
Wipe them out! Rock me and you shall pay! I am your death!
There we go. So sometimes when you fight those groups of people, only the leader drops loot. In fact, often that happens. But this time, we got some loot from one of the thugs as well.
The Mage's Collective thanks.
So that was just a quest to turn in, because we actually completed one of the throwaway quests.
Well, look at this. I remember taking you across when you left with that fella Duncan. And now you're a Grey Warden. My pap used to tell me stories about them.
Why aren't you manning the boat?
Templars took the boat.
So I can't get across?
Gregor just came down and said, "Don't you worry, Kester, we got it all under control, we do." Didn't say nothing else. And then he puts Carol in charge of my boat. Lissy, named for my grandmum she was.
Is something wrong at the tower?
I told you, they didn't tell me nothing. And if I know they're mages, I'm better off keeping out of their business. If I
Watch
had
what
to
you
guess,
say.
I'd guess it had to do with magic, but the tower's always got something to do with magic.
How do you not know? You live so close.
Do I look like a Templar? A mage? Why would they tell me anything?
I don't know, but thanks for your help, I guess.
You're too kind. Your type don't usually give my type the time of day.
So that conversation is actually particularly interesting if you come here as a Dalish elf or a city elf. We're still an elf, but since we're a mage, the mage part kind of supersedes the elf part, and he's more familiar with us because of that. But if you come here as just a regular elf, he says some particularly racist things, prejudiced things.
Yes?
Sorry, your husband's dead.
Why? What did...
So that was another throwaway quest thing. This one is not a throwaway quest. This is, we actually already did the second part of this, but so there's not really any point talking to him.
Good day,
anymore,
welcome
but
to the
we
Spoiled
can.
Princess. Is there something I can get for you?
So this is what I was talking about, Brother Gentivi. When we were in Denerim, we went to Brother Gentivi's house where that Wayland imposter guy was, and he told us to come here. Or he didn't tell us to come here, but he said that knights that were looking for the Urn of Sacred Ashes came here. So if we had not found out that Wayland was an imposter and found out where Brother Genetivi was going, this is the other way to find out that information. And since we already know, we don't have to do that. But so you can see what the quest is like, I'll do it anyway. Is there a Brother Genetivi here?
Brother No. No, of course not. I've never heard of him.
Are you sure?
I know everyone staying at my inn, and I've not heard of this person.
So why was I sent here? Tell me what you know.
I don't know anything. Listen, the person you're looking for isn't here. You should be on your way as soon as possible.
Tell me what you're hiding. Now.
Keep your voice down. I'm afraid. I have a wife, a 3-year-old son, and they're watching me. They're looking for anyone asking for this Brother Genetivi. They told me to act like nothing's wrong and just deny ever having seen the brother or the knights.
Who are these people watching you?
I don't know. You should be on your guard and leave quickly. I don't know what happened to the knights, but I doubt it was anything good.
I can look after myself.
Goodbye, and Maker turn his gaze on you.
Okay. And
Welcome
we can
back to
ask
the
him a
Spoiled
little bit
Princess.
about the
How
inn.
may I serve you today?
Why is the inn called the Spoiled
It
Princess?
was my father's idea. He ran the inn before me, and he named it for my sister. She was his little princess. Princess decided the country was too dull for her and moved to Denerim. More glamorous, she said. Well, she was found murdered, robbed of all the trinkets my father bought her with his hard-earned money. My father died of shock and heartbreak. Mother stopped eating, and I got the struggling in. The name stuck. That's the story.
Yeah, I should get going.
Of course. If there's anything I can get you, just let me know.
Well, if you ask him for a drink, it opens up the shop menu and you can buy stuff or sell stuff.
What are you looking at? Can a man drink in peace?
Overpriced swill.
Alright, now we leave.
It will be.
Alright, so we're getting attacked. It's an ambush.
Is that
You battle a Kunari!
I thought I already did that.
clumsy?
I guess there weren't any corpses when I did it.
As you say. Yes.
So this animate death spell, it isn't particularly useful if you're only doing one fight, but when you get into dungeon scenarios where there's going to be multiple fights in a row, it's pretty useful, and it comes quite in handy. Particularly if you don't have a rogue with you, you can actually use that character to run ahead and activate any traps without harming any of your main crew. So let's go to the mountains. So after you fight that group that we just fought, what is supposed to happen is you're supposed to go back inside and talk with the guy again, and you'll end up going back to Denerim to talk with Waylon, because he's the one that sent you there in the first place, only to get ambushed. So you confront him about it, and then the same thing that happens when we were talking to him in Denerim as is happens. He basically tells you you're sticking your nose where it shouldn't be, and he attacks you. You find the body of the real Waylon in the back, and you find out that Brother Gentivi went to
You have coins, stranger? With Orzammar closed off, Old Tegrin can give you a discount.
a
Fine
particular
weapon and
place in the
arms,
mountains.
dwarven made.
A particular place in the mountains to find the urn, and unlocks that location on your map. What's going on in Orzammar?
There's two things I'm here for. Travel or trade. Understand?
Yeah, sure. Now let's see the discount. Okay, so he has a tome there that can give us an extra skill, and I am quite inclined to purchase that. This ceremonial armor, and you notice that it has -3 armor on it, and it has a ridiculously high strength threshold. It's not for fighting, it's just for looks. So you can wear it, but if you plan on using gear for the actual effectiveness of gear, then it's not a good idea to wear it. I might keep it just in case, because we're just doing aesthetics anyway. Sell the quartz, keep the rest. I'll buy this. He might have a backpack. Nope. But he does have some gifts, so you can buy these gifts for your party members. But I'm not going to. Keep going to the mountains. Right, that was Codex. It looked like Codex. Oh, I guess not. Statue of a dwarf, and it's on the surface. Dwarven architecture, and on the surface once again. Take a look around. I don't know what those lines are supposed to be. I think it's, oh, the moon or sun coming over the top of the trees. That's cool. Okay, bounty hunters. Send Alistair and them in first. Okay, attack that one.
It is done.
Loghain sends his regards.
Shall it be?
Oh dear. Potion. You're gonna need a potion. Eat that potion. The fun of fighting against mages. Everybody has to drink a potion.
Of course.
See, if you ever get into a fight with like a bigger group, particularly on the more difficult settings, you're gonna want to kill the mages first, or stun them, do something to incapacitate the mages, because they will do a ridiculous amount of damage in a short period of time to everyone in your party if you don't.
Vieta, this land is held in trust for the sovereign dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Loghain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever you call them in your assembly. I am his appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
So this scene should not have activated where I was. I don't know why it did. It normally doesn't activate until you get really close to where they're talking. Oh well. I guess we're forced into this. Why have your people retreated like this?
They hide because they are dwarves.
I would challenge any race to fare as well. Our king is dead. Endrunai Dukan returned to the Stone not 3 weeks ago. The Assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
So by playing either one of the Dwarven starting areas, you'll actually know a little bit more about this. Particularly if you play as the Dwarven Noble. I'm a Grey Warden. This treaty obliges Orzammar to aid me.
The Wardens killed King Kaelin and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Loghain.
Well, that is the Royal Seal. That means only the Assembly is authorized to address it. Grey Warden, you may pass.
You're letting in a traitor? And a foreigner? In the name of King Loghain, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden.
That's enough. Raise your blade if you're so tough.
I will at that. I'm a messenger of King Loghain.
Kill each other as you will, but take your sodding fight off my doorstep.
So it doesn't actually give us the option to move, but it does teleport us. So this group has a mage, so we are actually going to go after the mage first. Well, I'm going to. The rest of the party's going to attack that guy. And I'm going to cage him.
No hope for you now. I will not fall.
Right. Now everybody go after the mage.
The Grey Warden shall pay!
It will be done. You shall not touch me! Do it quickly!
So that crushing prison that I used on the mage, it incapacitates them while doing damage to them. So it's a useful spell to have. So that was this dialogue scene that you get before you enter into the city of Orzammar. So if we go talk to him again, he'll let us into the city. But that's actually not why we're here. We're here to find that person.
They say no one goes in or out until the
that has Sten's sword.
Oh, you wish to talk to me? Truly, it's a courtesy for one so well-armed to notice a lowly merchant.
Never mind, I should
Best
go.
of luck to you.
Why do you always go on about how stupid I am? I'm not stupid, am I?
If you need to ask the question...
Because it hurts my manly feelings, you know. Or one of them.
Then I'll be sure to write you an apology once all of this is over.
I was educated by the Chantry. I studied history. They don't make stupid Templars.
Then I must have been mistaken. I'm very impressed.
No, you're not. You're not even listening to me.
My, you are smarter than you look after all. Your Chantry must have been very proud.
So if you want to hear gossip, you can just sit there.
Just keep your head down, that's what. And your wits about you.
Just sit by the gossip people for more gossip.
Is it true Grey Wardens killed Ferelden's king?
No, it's not. Oh, another quest guy.
What business would the mighty Grey Wardens have? Oh? What was it? Man.
Another fight. It's just for extra experience, though. It's one of those Blackstone irregular quests. Doesn't make a difference in the long run. But as you can see, this entire time we've had a skeleton from the first fight we had when we came here. And that skeleton has remained fighting with us ever since. So that is why, if there is multiple fights going on, that spell is particularly useful. The only problem is, as soon as you go to a new floor of the dungeon, or whatever, you'll have to cast it again. So, which is fine. Sten leveled up. Give him some strength. And 1 point of cunning. Actually, we'll go without cunning for now. It's constitution. Bravery is good to have, but we're gonna go with that. 200 strength. There we go. Okay, the guy we're looking for, this should be him here. Farron.
Step right, maker's breath. Oh, beg your pardon, friend. You, startled me a bit.
You're Farron, right?
You've, heard of me?
Where is my sword?
I don't know what you mean, sir.
Just kill him, Sten. We can search his belongings for it.
I don't have it, I swear by Andraste's knickers. I sold it on the way here.
Where is it now?
I sold it to a dwarf in Redcliffe, name of Dwin.
If you're lying, you do know we'll be back.
I'm not, I promise you.
We'll see.
Sten approves. Alright, and then we are going to leave this location. And so it's telling us to go to Redcliffe. And Redcliffe is where we were going to go in the first place. Yeah, we'll keep going to Redcliffe. There's no harm in it. Gather your party and go all the way to Redcliffe. I was half expecting there to be another ambush fight.
Look, can we talk for a moment? I need to tell you something. I should probably have told you earlier.
So if you don't bring Alistair with you, this conversation does not happen at all. Can it wait?
Well, yes, I guess so.
I'm not gonna like this, am I?
I don't know. I doubt it. I've never liked it, that's for sure. I told you before how Al Eamon raised me, right? That my mother was a serving girl at the castle and he took me in?
The reason he did that was because, well, because my father was King Marek, which made Kaelin my half-brother, I suppose.
Oh, what? You didn't think this might have been useful information?
How? When would I say that? Oh, by the way, King Marek had sex with a servant and she produced a bastard son. That's me. I would have told you, but it never really meant anything to me. I was inconvenient, a possible threat to Kaelin's rule, and so they kept me secret. I'd never talked about it to anyone. Everyone who knew either resented me for it or they coddled me. Even Duncan kept me out of the fighting because of it. I didn't want you to know as long as possible. I'm sorry.
This also sheds new light on why the king had Alistair come with us when he sent us to go light the beacon, instead of participating in the battle at Ostagar. He was worried for Alistair's safety, and he wanted Alistair out of the fighting. Does Loghain know?
Why wouldn't he? He was King Marek's best friend. I don't know if that means anything, though. I certainly never considered the idea that it might ever be important. At any rate, that's it. That's what I had to tell you. I thought you should know about it.
In other words, Loghain does know, and that actually gives Loghain added incentive to not want the Grey Wardens around. So you're the heir to the throne, then?
Let's hope not. I'm the son of a commoner and a Grey Warden to boot. It was made very clear to me early on that there was no room for me raising any rebellions or such nonsense. And that's fine by me. Now, if there's an heir to be found, it's Arl Eamon himself. He's not of royal blood, but he is Kaelin's uncle, and more importantly, very popular with the people. Though, if he's really as sick as we've heard... Oh no, I don't want to think about that. I really don't. So there you have it. Now can we move on? And I'll just pretend you still think I'm some nobody who was too lucky to die with the rest of the Grey Wardens.
Aren't you?
See? I knew you could do it. It's easy, isn't it?
Alright, so he gave us a codex about Redcliffe. Here it is, if you want to read it. I guess we have a couple character things. Alistair, this is just from talking with people. Eliana, Sten, Morrigan. Okay. Yeah, that was after our conversations that we had in the camp. And this should be an abomination. Yep, there we go. Okay. Now that guy, Thomas, once we walk up to him, it's going to start another cutscene, but it's going to be a fairly hefty cutscene, so I'm actually going to end the episode here for now, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, subscribe, like, and I'll see you next time. Bye.